Hey, we're back. Ready for video number 7. We're going to talk about the daily routine and what I do every day in the morning just to get things going. Okay. Now that I have now that I made the day trade app, uh, doesn't take me as long. Um, Usually about a half hour before the market opens. I open up day trade, I look at it, get some information from it, add a little bit of information to my charts, and then when the bell sounds, I'm ready to watch. Now remember, I don't do anything for the first 15 minutes. I let the market kind of settle down, let it do whatever it's going to do. All the overnight people, all of that stuff, do what it's going to do. Then what I do is I look at my different strategies. Let's go ahead and get started. So let's see what did I even put on the next slide? I made these slides a while back, so bear with me. Okay. Alrighty, here we go. Yep, it's saying exactly what I said. Okay, at 6 a.m. I get up and I'm checking the market bias, what's the momentum, what it's doing. The screen will refresh. Now the server refreshes, and then you're seeing what's on the server. That way, everybody who has a subscription is not constantly pinging all of the sources of data. You're just pinging my servers that I have in AWS. So no big deal. You don't have to keep hitting the refresh button. It automatically refreshes. If it calls for a refresh every 5 minutes, it'll refresh the screen every 5 minutes. If it calls for a refresh every minute, it'll refresh the screen. And for you uh, more techie folks, I'm using Ajax, so you won't see the screen flash or update or do anything weird. It's just those numbers will update on the screen. They'll change. So, you have to keep your eye on it to see it change. But bottom line, okay, 6 o'clock in the morning, I get up and I check the day trade app. At 6:30, I go through that pre-market prep, all of those 8 points that I run through to make sure what's going on. 6:45. Remember, I'm doing nothing. The bell rings at 6:30. I'm at PST, so this is a Pacific time zone. At 6:45, 15 minutes after the bell rings, I haven't done anything for 15 minutes. I'm disciplined. I'm not touching anything for 15 minutes. Let the market settle down and do what it's going to do. That's when the window for the FNWU orb trade starts. It opens. It goes from 6:45 to 8 o'clock. Okay, based on those strategies, you make whatever moves you're going to make there. 8:45, that's when the Bollinger window opens up. Okay, and it does its refreshes and all of those different things. Now, if I decide that day you may want to do this, just instead of watching multiple strategies and trying to figure all of this stuff out for the entire process, just wait the first 15 minutes, look at what the market is doing, and then just do SPY. Just do SPY scalps. It updates every 60 seconds. You can listen for the chime. If you hear something jump off, then you can look in your trading application and maybe make a trade there if that's what you want to do. Okay. Remember, no position is a position. If you don't do anything, you're just preserving your capital. That's also a position. Okay. So you are trading, even if you're not clicking buttons. Okay. Once you're in there, you're good to go. Okay. At 12:45, close all open positions. No, the market's going to close at 1 o'clock. I don't keep things overnight. I'm just going to close it out and be done. Now, no new entries after that time. You can't really at 1 o'clock because the market is closed. For me, it is at least. Okay. Now, I am going to switch over to my monitors that show pretty much everything just so you can see what I'm looking at and these monitors are going to be a little bit uh, smaller. So Okay. Don't shoot me because it's tiny. Just hear what I'm saying. Don't worry about how I actually did it. I'll go through the individual moves that I make here, but don't worry about knowing every single button that I'm pushing. Now, again, over here in my layout, I've got my window open with my day trade app so I can see what my indicators are saying. This is my 5-minute chart. This is my 1-minute chart. This is my 15-minute chart. What I usually do is I'm holding the control button and just scrolling so that I can get more of what's going on the screen. Again, these gray areas are overnight. This is what it's done the day before. What I usually do is I come in the morning at 6 o'clock. First thing I do is on the 15-minute chart, I come in here, I click this, I go over here, and I grab this quadrant lines thing. Okay. I want to know what the market yesterday, what was the top and what was the bottom. Okay, now that extends the lines across today. All three of these charts in my setup are synchronized. So you'll see those same lines on the other chart. Like here, let me back this up just a little bit. I'm going to take this off of that and put it back on my pointer so I don't hit it. Now, if you look here on this 1-minute chart, I'm going to squeeze it down too so that you see that little dashed line there. You can see it down on my 15-minute chart at the bottom. It's also there. See, that line shows up on each one of these three charts, okay? What I'm normally watching is the 5-minute chart after the market opens. When I'm ready to make a trade, I look at the 1-minute chart, okay? Now, I'll explain what all of these different things are, but I'm just telling you what my routine is for each day. After I do that, I come over here and I look in day trade. My pre-market check, this is before the market opens. First thing I want to do is I want to get in my mind what are the futures saying for the KPI. I can look at that over here. I actually put the numbers right below that. It's the same thing that's over here, but I just put the numbers right below it here so that you can have it on the same screen. Can you see where, I don't know if you can see where I'm looking here. Let me put a pointer there so you can see where I'm looking. I'm looking right here in this area. Okay, I put the numbers there so that you can have them to figure out what you're doing here. It's the same thing as what's on the card over here. That's the card that's giving you that information. Okay, I'm gonna do a C control. Yeah, that'll get rid of it. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do here is I'm going to, after I've checked that and I see that what it is it's between 758 and 752. So that's kind of, I've already put in here that yesterday it was between 752 and so I'm looking down here at the 15-minute right now. 752 to 739. I can see that that's the range for the previous day. The futures are saying that over here on my card, it's going to be between 758 and 752. 758, so it looks like it's going to be kind of going up, okay? Because the bottom is 752. That's what people are willing to pay in the future. Remember, we did the whole scenario with the tires and all of that stuff in the future, and I got to buy rubber for my business, and I got to be ready and all. If you didn't watch those other videos, go back and find it. But bottom line is the range that they're selling this for in the not too distant future is between 752 and 758. So how do you get there? It's going to have to kind of rise there. It doesn't mean it's going to happen right now. It could happen at any time, but that's kind of the direction that you're looking at. So I already looked at that. I'm going to check that off. You'll see up here, it puts the time up here. Let's do and up here it put the time up here that I actually made that check mark, and it's 1 of 8 that's actually checked off. So I'm going to come down here and we'll see, look at the ES, is it above or below the midpoint? It's above. It says above right there. Okay, I understand. In the future, it's going up. We just talked about why. Next thing I'm going to do is look down here at the SPY gap versus yesterday. I'm looking at the 15-minute chart. It closed way down here yesterday around 7:39. Where is it right now? Right now, it's around 7. This little green thing right here, it's around 7:46. So it's up 7:39. It's up to 7:46. So it's kind of moving upward. If you look at that little, I'm looking at that bottom 15-minute, okay? Now, SPY gap versus yesterday's close, we just did that. SPY 15-minute structure, is it uptrend, downtrend, or where is SPY on the 15-minute chart? We've already talked about that. We just talked about what it is. Just look at it. We're talking about between here and here, just this gray section here. Let me zoom in on that just a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. We're talking about just that day. Now, again, I'm looking at this overnight. During the day, I'm trading, so I'm making these videos in the off hours just so you can kind of see how to use the application. Okay, between here and here this was the last trading day. I'm just kind of looking at that to see what did it do on the 15-minute chart. Did it go up? Did it go down? What's the range? Click that button there on, I'm back over here on in day trade. I marked the previous day high and low. I did that with those lines already. That's done. VWAP. Where is VWAP? VWAP is this very important orange dashed line running through the middle. This tells you where the volume and the weight is right now. I would say that there are more buyers than there are sellers because these little candles are above that dash. Now, they may be in different places on the 1 minute, and even though it's kind of it's a breakdown of what is happening right at that time. This one on the 15-minute, see how I'm highlighting this one candle? There are 15 candles before, there are, 7.5 candles, since it's the 15-minute and this is the 1 minute. This one little candle right here holds 15 of these candles. It's 7.5 before and 7.5 after. That's when this candle is completely formed, okay? That's these up here. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all of that other stuff, okay? Now, I've got these arrows and all of that stuff. Don't worry about that right now. I'll tell you what that is. We got our Bollinger Squeeze stuff going on. We can look at that and see what's going on. We can look at VWAP, and we can see the volume. Is it going up or is it going down? There's another indicator here called the RSI that tells you whether it's oversold or overbought, just based on, don't use it as an indicator if it says, don't think that it's going to tell you if too many have been bought or too many have been sold. It doesn't just follow that. It just gives you an idea. You don't want to have, don't worry about it. I'll tell you about that one later. Let's get back over here to day trade. We looked at VWAP and we said that VWAP is below, so it looks to me like it's going to be an up day. So that's what I'm taking into my mind. I'm looking at buying calls rather than buying puts. Okay. Now, VIX, I'm looking at VIX. Remember we had I put them here. It's normal, elevated, or high. Remember I said if it's high, I usually don't get in there because stuff costs too much. Why am I going to trade on a day when something's going to cost me twice as much as it would on a day when it's not going to? I may or may not. It depends. But usually if it's normal, less than 20, over here it says that it's 16.8 right there. And I'm looking over here on the in day trade right now. So if I click this guy, okay, I've checked the VIX. I know what that is. And I'm telling myself here, I'm reminding myself, wait 15 minutes. Let the structure form before I enter. It's not blocking me from doing anything over here. I'm just developing the discipline that I need to have to make this go. Okay. Now, what am I going to do? For now, just do this the SPY. So that's mostly a scalp or a trade continuation. So I'm gonna just click this button. All I'm doing is telling myself, I'm writing it down. If you write it down, you kind of follow it. Okay, how many trades I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a maximum of 5 trades. If I lose more than, let's say, $150, I'm done for the day. I just accept that I lost money that day, and I'm gonna come back the next day and trade again. It just ain't my day. Okay, so that's kind of the process that I follow each morning. At this point, I'm waiting for the bell to ring. It'll be like right now, I'm looking over here on this 5-minute chart. We're in the middle of the kind of the nighttime the day before the market opens. So I'm going to wait until it gets all the way. Let's see. Look at this on the 15-minute chart. It's a little easier to see more in 15-minute intervals than 5. I'm going to wait until the bell. This is Saturday night right now. So I'm going to wait through Sunday. When it gets right here, I'll be ready to trade. Okay. Alrighty, that's how we do that. Let's take a look at do I have any other slides here to tell you about? Yeah, we looked through those. We talked about what's going on during the day. All right, signal entry protocol. Okay, this is the protocol that I follow for making an actual trade. Now, when you hear the chime plays, that means that all the ducks are in a row and everything is lined up. Doesn't mean push the button. It means that things are lined up for you to look in your brokerage application and get ready to make a move. Okay, you're gonna watch the next candle. You're gonna wait for a confirmation candle. Make your move after the confirmation candle, after you hear the tone. Okay, the candle holds the same direction after you see that confirmation. If it's still going in the same direction, go ahead and make the trade. If you feel comfortable, if it reverses, if you don't get that confirmation and it reverses, wait for the next turn. There's another one coming. Don't think that you have to take that particular entry or that particular run. Okay, here I'm going to jump back to this monitor so you can see. Yeah, I'm talking about this slide here, but I was too far out. Hopefully that wasn't too irritating for you, but I was showing you my entire 2-monitor setup so that you can see what I'm looking at each day before I actually do the trades. Okay, down here, most important, never enter on the chime alone. Just get your confirmation first, then jump in. Okay, don't chase anything. Chasing is if something is falling and you think you should get in and get out real quick. They call that catching a falling knife. All you're gonna do is get cut. Don't do that. Use the discipline, follow the process, and then you'll be following the guidelines. Don't get creative. It's real easy to just start clicking in other things and doing different things. Don't do that. Okay. What are we going to do in the next video? The next video is going to be trading rules and risk management. Yeah, that's a good one. I know these videos get a little long and they can be a little boring, but just get something to drink, go back, look at it again. If you're falling asleep, take a nap, come back, look at it again, and go through the entire video, just so that you have the understanding of what it is you're doing, because you're going to be putting your actual money up. Okay, I'll put the like and subscribe and all that stuff on, but like and subscribe. We'll go from there. Okay, alrighty. See you in the next video.